The voice of Stockton, and I am Richard Slezak. This is the Saturday Evening News. We're going to get the Wayback Machine, go back to November 8th, 2016. And to do that, we do want to leave a record of our webcast. And to do that, I get the audition up here, and today's the 520. 520, yo, yo, yo. Saturday. Evening. I'm going to abbreviate it. News. And we're going to get going. It's 7:47. Those can land and take off from Stockton International Airport, Metropolitan. Here we go. Woo, woo. Saturday Evening News is on the air for you. Welcome. You are webtuned to thevoiceofstockton.org. I am your host, Richard Slezak. Saturday Evening News is on. We're gonna, as we've been doing the past few weeks, why is Donald Trump president? Why do we have a Republican Senate and a Republican House? What the heck's going on? Well, we've been digging in, and sure enough, Republican restrictions on voter identification and cross-check, oh my, yes, do have something to do with it. As we get to that, I would like to bring our sponsors along. We have wonderful sponsors. We invite you to be one too. 7:49 p.m. here at the Voice of Stockton. Hotel Furniture Liquidators. They're at 1648 North Shaw Road. Beds, you bet. Bureaus, yeah. Desks, yes. Chairs, yes. You can get them gently used at Hotel Furniture Liquidators, 1648 North Shaw Road. Books, we got them. The Miracle Mile Bookstore, 2210 Pacific Avenue, and Doors Book Recyclery at 2310 Pacific Avenue. Yeah, just up the street from, you got it, Bedford Road, where the Voice of Stockton is, 231 West. Head right on up a mere, 3 blocks and a 4th block. You'll get it at the Miracle Mile Bookstore and Doors Book Recyclery. Custom plastics and signs on the south side on Martin Luther King Boulevard, 326 East. Custom plastics and signs. They got stencils, vehicle and boat graphics, signage as in corrugated plastic. Plastic fabrication, they'll do it for you. Plastic sheets, you can buy it. Rods and tubes as well. Need a business card printed? They'll gladly do so. Displays made and t-shirts printed at Custom Plastics and Signs, 326 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in Stockton. Millennium Computer Repair, 209-922-1879. You know what? It might be a good idea if I got a camera swinging over on moi. Because, yep, I could go over here and do the show a little bit better. Hi. Yes. Custom Millennium Computer Repair. They do virus and spyware removal, performance improvement, computer password removal, data backup, and hard drive repair. Call Safraz Khan at 209-922-1879. Habitat for Humanity. Yeah, be humane. If it's already made, utilize it. And you can find that sort of stuff over at the Restore. Yeah, building accoutrements, furniture, art, as in sculptures and paintings. They're at 4933 West Lane. I've taken old windows there, and hey, they moved. They were sold rapidly. 4933 West Lane, 100 yards south of March Lane. That is the Restore, where you can get it for your building and house. Tender Donuts, we bake fresh daily. Chenoweth Sam and Sivke Sam at 1304 East Hammer Lane at Holman. You get that Donut Jones fulfilled. Hit him at early morning time, 4:30 a.m. they open on weekdays, and 5:30 they open on Sundays. Leaders T-shirt printing, yo, 500 East Lodi Avenue at Garfield in Lodi. You can get it, yeah, that T-shirt printing plus computer repair, phone screen replacement, iPad tablet repair, and you can send and receive faxes there at Leaders at Lodi Avenue and Garfield in Lodi. Dig. We're trying to find it out for you here at the Voice of Stockton Saturday Evening News. And we have already put on our Facebook and YouTube audition. Sponsors. And what do we got? Oh, you know where we're at on the Magic Machine? We're at the New York Times. Yeah, I'll be sharing things from there with you this evening. Why? Because they're very reliable. And I'll be putting it in my own words. So basically, we're just drawing data from there. Yeah, we trying to figure it out. Now, states with strict voter ID laws and cross-checking applied with close presidential election counts. Oh yeah. And they've been Republican dominated the past few years. What's critical is since June of 2013, and that's when the Voting Rights Act was gutted 5-4 by the U.S. Supreme Court. One of Scalia's last decisions. He was a real sweetheart towards it, you know. The people wanted it in place. Congress always renewed it with overwhelming bipartisan support. But, oh, hey, wait a minute. We got a Republican-dominated Supreme Court. They get their marching orders from the RNC. Where do they get their marching orders from? The well-to-do. You know, the Koch brothers, among others. Trumpy was telling them what to do through the back door quite often down through the years. Their purpose is to concentrate wealth in the hands of the few. It's a conservative party. That's what they do. In order to get that victory, they try to, the wealthiest 15%, they're already there. Who do they get to go along with them? In order to get a winning coalition, you need at least 40% of something. Oh, the not-so-brights. Some would say the least intelligent 40% of the voting population. Last week, 30 million white men voted for Donald Trump. Disproportionately. Even white women split evenly, as we found out. And instead, I'm a white man. I just ain't conforming. Naughty me. So, those states where we had a close one, we're familiar with Michigan, 16 electoral votes. Florida, 29. Pennsylvania, 20. Wisconsin, 10. North Carolina, 15. That comes to 80. Another one we're going to be taking a look at is Arizona. And that didn't have the exit polls done in it. But it does have results. And those were fairly close. It's only got, we can go to it right now and give it a look-see, and on the magic machine, 11 electoral votes. Donald Trump got 1,252,401. What's unique about Arizona? Oh, it's got, they had for a while very strict voter ID laws, but what they also had was the cross-check and the Interstate Voter Registration Cross-Check Program by Chris Kobach, Kansas Secretary of State. On the purge list, total purge list is 7,200,000 voters. What Mr. Kobach is claiming is that actually represents 3,600,000 voters, for those are all voters who are registered in the same state, in two different states. We've gone into this. For Arizona, there's 270,824 people on the purge list. Well, basically what that's saying, that there's, in other states, there's 270,824 people, could be New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, where are also on that cross-check index. So the margin, Hillary Clinton, now the reason we care about cross-check is because of people who went to vote and they might have been able to vote. They're claiming, hey, I might not be on the voter index, but I'm registered. So they allowed them to vote with a provisional ballot. When that ballot was checked with the voter index, because of cross-check, they were no longer on the voter index. So they weren't, their ballot, the votes on it were not counted. 75,000 provisional ballots in the state of Michigan from Flint and Detroit alone. Now, Michigan, on their cross-check index, are 449,922. So the Arizona list is about 5/8 the size of the Michigan list. The margin of victory for Donald Trump in Michigan was 13,107. In Arizona, it was 91,234. That is, Donald Trump received 1,252,401 votes. Ironically, there was a Senate race, and John McCain only received 1,089,324, 170,000 votes less. The Republicans didn't vote for McCain down ballot. 170,000 did not. Hillary Clinton received 1,161,167 votes, yet Democrat Ann Kirkpatrick only received 839,542 votes. Now, if everybody who had voted for Hillary had voted for Ann would have won. And instead of 48 Democrats in the Senate and 52 Republicans, there'd be 49 Democrats in the Senate. Ironically, Gary Johnson, white man's second choice, received 106,327 votes in Arizona. Jill Stein received 34,845 votes in Arizona. And in the Senate race, Green candidate Gary Swing received 112,151. Maybe some of those Democrats who didn't vote for Hillary voted for Gary. Now, of the total votes, there were 2,400,000 who voted in the presidential, yet only 2 million in the Senate. The total difference is 413,000. The Hillary to Ann difference is 321,000. Arizona voters just, the wheels move kind of slow, I guess. Gary Swing got 77,000 more votes than Jill Stein. And John McCain received 163,000 fewer votes than Donald Trump. Sad. Fickle people there in Zona. Now we're looking at the phenomenon of the provisional ballots. I suspect many represented voters whose names had been eliminated from the voter cross-check. I got 8:04 on my computer. I got 8 o'clock on the clock on the wall. It is 8 p.m. or there 8:04. Take your choice. May 20th, Saturday evening, and you are webtuned to thevoiceofstockton.org. I am Richard Slezak. It's the Saturday Evening News. Further analysis and review of the general election, November 8th, 2016. And getting back to Michigan, there were probably more provisional ballots not counted than just those out of Flint and Detroit. But there were 4,799,020 votes, presidential votes cast that were counted. And so the ratio of ballots counted to ballots not counted, because of cross-check, I suspect, was 64-1 in Michigan. Now in Wisconsin, as we reported last week, 200,000 people were turned away from the polls, estimated, reasonable estimate. 9% of voters didn't have adequate ID in order to vote. And that was known, according to surveys taken. And turnout ranged from about 62% to 85% in county to county in Wisconsin. So you figure 66% turnout of the voters in Wisconsin, and that would come to 200,000. So there were 3,209,200 votes in the presidential election. So for every 16 votes that were counted, there was one voter turned away. Not a good thing. Now you put these laws together, and races such as Arizona, there's a whole new light that comes to shine on him. And so we're going to do a little bit further investigating here See, we had close elections in the five big states, and Arizona with 11 electoral votes. Had those laws not been on the books, had cross-check not been done, Hillary be in the White House. And there'd probably be a good chance of a Democratic Senate and 50-50 chance at this point, I'm figuring, that there would have been a Democratic House. So we're going to take it from the top, looking at things again, and like to go back to Michigan, share with you what's going on. As a matter of fact, we're just going to utilize what we have here at the New York Times website, and the counties around Detroit, Ann Arbor, Flint, they voted for Hillary. And they got a short list of counties there, and in the U.S. House, first district, 15 points difference between Republican and Democrat, so wouldn't have helped there. Second district, 63 to 32 in favor of the Republican, 59 to 38 Republican over Democrat in the third. Fourth, 62% to 32% Republican over Democrat. Now here's an example of the gerrymandering that takes place. In the 5th district, the Democrat won with 61% of the vote to 35% for the Republican. In the 6th district, Mr. Upton, he's a well-known Republican, got 59% to candidate Clements getting 36%. 55% for Wahlberg in the 7th. His opponent got 40%. 8th district, 56% for the Republican, 39% for the Democrat. In the 9th district, 58% for the Democrat, 37% for the Republican, and in the 10th district, 63% for the Republican, 32% for the Democrat. Again, it's Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Flint are Democratic districts, and the rest of the state is Republican. That's gerrymandering. There's now the state house is 46% Democratic, 63% Republican. There was only one Senate district election. The Supreme Court, hard to say. Not familiar if their candidates are Democrat or Republican. That's usually brought forth as nonpartisan. And the only way people find out is, what year, who was governor when they moved into that judgeship. So, continuing to march, states we're interested in. Now, Florida, 2000, they had a terrible time. They had like 90,000 people tossed off the voter rolls on the grounds that, they must be felons. Most of them weren't. Now in Florida, the Tallahassee area, not Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, West Palm Beach, and Miami, Democratic. The rest of the state is Republican. The difference between Hillary and Donald was 110,000 votes. Gary Johnson got 207,000 votes in Florida. Going down here, U.S. Senate, wow, quite a bit of difference. Patrick Murphy, veteran of the Iraq War, he only got 4,105,000 votes, and Marcos Rubio got 4,822,000 votes, and that's 200,000 more than the Donald, and Hillary got 300,000 more than Patrick. So even if everybody who had voted for Hillary voted for Patrick, he still would have lost. And now sometimes you just can't make a district competitive, you know? The general area is either one party or another, so there's evidence here. U.S. House races, first district 69% for the Republican, second 67%, third 57%, fourth 70%. Fifth district went to the Democrat, but with 64%. Sixth district went to the Republican, 59%. Seventh, now that, oh boy, that was Murphy versus Micah, and Murphy won. It was a different Murphy. Yeah, that Micah was a mean one. Whew, mean corporatist. Posey, maybe a relation to Buster, in the eighth, a Republican, got 63%. In the ninth, Soto, the Democrat, got 58%. And in the 10th, Demings, the Democrat, got 65%. So that's evidence of the gerrymandering. State House races look similar, either gerrymandering or just large zones of Republicans and without many Democrats. Among ballot measures, solar energy subsidies and personal solar use, it won. Not by much, by 150,000 votes. Expanded medical marijuana, woo, it won by 2.5-fold. Property tax exemptions for senior citizens, well, it won by about 3-1. And tax exemptions for disabled first responders won by about 5-1. Give you an idea how things went down in Florida. They had a lot of District Court of Appeals races and circuit court races. Public defender were on the ballot. Wow. State attorney, because they have those instead of DAs. Yeah. Southern, yikes. Those lopsidedly Republican. Supreme Court was 2/3 in favor of the incumbents. A look at Florida, brought to you by drawing from a good site. And now we're going to go to Pennsylvania, and we're going to come back also and go through now the difference in the presidential race. Again, about 44,000. Got 2,970,733 for the Donald, and 2,926,441 for Hillary. And in the Senate race, it was very close. It was only 100,000 difference in the Senate race. And again, only had all the Democrats who voted for Hillary 2,926,000. Yeah, yeah. It would have beat Patrick Toomey, second one in a row. Now, I'm going to take a little note of that. And heck, oh well, put it back here. And that's McGinty in Pennsylvania, and there had been Kirkpatrick in Arizona. Interesting. And that's had all Hillary gone to the Senate Dem candidate. And so there's two states, wow, where had that happened, they would have won. Alrighty, continuing to march. And Pennsylvania, where does it go Democratic? Allentown and the county north of Allentown, around the State College where, Pennsylvania State is, Pittsburgh, and then the rest of the state is Republican voting. So, oh well. Looking at the House races, there were only Schuster got 63%, Marino 70%. That's the ninth. The fifth, 67% for Thompson, 66% for Perry. So those are lopsided. Fourth, fifth, ninth, and 10th are lopsided for Republicans. Yet the first and the second, oh my, those are lopsided in favor of Democrats. 82% for Brady in the first and 90% for Evans in the second. So, wah, gerrymandering, not a good thing. Similar evidence to that, state house and state senate races, that Democrats are rather, well, there's a lot of gerrymandering. The Attorney General race, the Democrat beat the Republican by 150,000 votes. Auditor General, the Democrat won by 200,000 votes, got exactly 50% of the vote. Treasurer, Democrat won 2,915,000. So they would have again, McGinty didn't poll the way other Democratic candidates polled. Bad Democrats. I mean, damn, you could have had a better country. Shame on ya. Okay, next state we're going to go to is Carolina of the North, and been a fight for years there. The separation between the two, 177,000 between Donaldo and Hillary. And U.S. Senate, again, that was Richard Burr, got 2,371,192, and Deborah Ross, the Democrat, 2,102,666. and had all the Democrats who voted for Hillary voted for Deborah, she still would have lost. Oops. Not in every case. So Democrats were wise there. Although 80,000, about 87,000 voted for Hillary, and they didn't vote for Deborah. Republicans, 2371. Yeah, so Richard Burr actually got more votes than Donald Trump. Now, Roy Cooper didn't get as many votes. His 2,281,000 is more than Deborah Ross's and Hillary Clinton's. So Pat McCrory got 2,276,000, which was fewer than Richard Burr and fewer than Donald Trump. The House races, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 10 are over 60%, indicating gerrymandering. So that's a look at North Carolina, 15 electoral votes. And yes, what did the purge list from the cross-check, 589,393. And plus there are voter ID laws are pretty strict in North Carolina. So I think between the two things, had that Voting Rights Act been still in place, would have gone to Hillary. And let's just take a look at Wisconsin, refresh our memories, take a good look there. Another close state, as we well know. And again, 18,000, 20,000, 22,000 separate Donald from Hillary in the Wisconsin race. U.S. Senate, Ron Johnson, Republican, got 1,478,170. That's more votes than Donald Trump got by about 73,000. 1,378,000 for Russ Feingold, which was 4,000 fewer than what Hillary Clinton got. And so, but the adverse effects of, we saw 200,000 people not able to vote because they didn't have the proper adequate IDs, registered voters in Wisconsin. And the closeness of those races, had those people been able to vote, wow, it would have been Russ Feingold and Hillary Clinton. You know, winning in Wisconsin. As for U.S. House races, a lot of evidence of gerrymandering. First is 65%, second 69% for the winner. Third was unchallenged. Fourth, 77% for the winner, Democrat. Fifth, Sensenbrenner gets 67%. He's in his district. Sixth, that looks like it could be a competitive district, but Grothman got 57% of the vote. And in the seventh, Duffy, the Republican, got 62%, so evidence of gerrymandering. And in the eighth, 63% for Gallagher. So there's definitely, gerrymandering that, how the maps were set, the boundaries were set, for congressional districts. So what we're going to do now is going to start going to the www. Secretaries of State, but we got quite a bit of stuff from them. But what we're going to go back and look for is the darn provisional ballots. How much of that was done? How much voting was done with provisional ballots? And hold with me. And I don't... Wham! Okay, we're just going to have to... Michigan. Oh, here's michigan.gov/SOS. And contact the state, frequently asked questions. And New Michigan residents, driver's license, state ID. Let's take a look and see what they have to say about this. Sign up. Michigan law require all drivers to have commercial driver's license, that is for Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And continuing, we're trying to find, here's elections in Michigan, and trying to track down previous state primary results. Okay. Here's general election results. Voter turnout. See, they do have turnout, but what they don't show up here is, you know, they have the tallies of the election. We got 8:30 p.m. here at the Voice of Stockton, but there's nothing about provisional voting and provisional ballots cast. Got a wonderful rundown of the state legislature, the state senate, congressional races. All the races are here, but not finding that very important provisional ballots. Judge races. I mean, it's not like they're hiding democracy in the state of Michigan. There's plenty to vote on. That's just being able to vote. And yep, turnout data. Well, they have data, turnout, races, delimited by county. Initiative, see, that's not something they want to bring up. And nothing posted in there. Turnout statistics, provisional ballots, and not in possession of IV affidavits. Let's see what they got, 2016. It's on a PDF. Reporting to you, 8:33 p.m., looking at Michigan. Provisional affidavit totals by county, for each county, but they have grand total, signed, not in possession of picture ID affidavit. Wow. Zoom in, fit to page. Oh, that's only page 1. Oh, okay. Oh, weird. Alcona. Oh, wow. Now, provisional affidavit ballots tabulated, provisional envelope ballots counted, provisional envelope ballots invalid, signed, not in possession of picture ID affidavit. And they do have county by county totals, and for the state, they only have provisional affidavit ballots tabulated 2,057, provisional envelope ballots counted 338. So this is not in possession of ID. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little. And not much else here. Wow. Now we have voter registration totals. Wow, freaky machine. Let's get a refresher on that. 2016 voter registration totals. Oh yeah, we've been to this before. And oh my, just not finding it. Georgia, Indiana. Alrighty-us, folks. Well, not finding it for... Okay. We're gonna... go to another state now and check in on Florida. We got 837. go to florida.gov. Oh yeah, Florida can be strange. Yeah, Florida USA Gov. Land of Rick Scott. And he's a strange one. Now here's election office, state agencies. Data and statistics. Voter registration statistics. Oh, strange. Information, detailed voter registration, history records are on a disk. Early voting, election results archive. And we got 8:38 here. We're just trying to bring up quickly the oh, hey, here's provisional ballots PDF. General election summaries. Wow. Provisional ballots submitted, for instance, Alachua County, 993. Provisional ballots counted, 651. And so here's a story. Provisional ballots submitted. Okay. Not a lot of room left on these pages. So for Florida, FLA, provisional ballots submitted 24,000. That wouldn't have caused a difference in the election. And the ones counted, submitted, and then counted is 10,998. So that would not have caused a difference in the election. We have rattling at the door. Howdy. Betty is in the building. All right, audience.
I am so tired.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All righty, now we're gonna leave Florida. We found some interesting stuff here in Florida. Whoa, uh-oh. Banging up the furniture. Let's see what time we're getting to have, how long we've been on. Oh, we've been on for 55 minutes, so gonna just go to Pennsylvania and see how much dot PA dot gov. Oh, here we go. pa.gov. I know it's not the most exciting thing. Higher education, governor's residence. And gotta, woo! Opioid epidemic, Pennsylvania Turnpike, toll road, craziness. Most of it parallel to a former four-track railroad. The Pennsylvania Railroad across Pennsylvania. Beautiful track. But we turned away. No, couldn't have it. Had to go to cars instead. Oh my. I apologize, my audience. What we have had is a finding out that voting in elections, here we go. Gonna try to get this in for you before 9 o'clock because we want to be fast moving around here. That didn't show me anything. Do I have to double click it? That doesn't make any sense. It's just up and down. They don't like you to be able to find things on this. If we're not going to be finding it in a matter of a couple of minutes, folks, I'm going to give it up for this evening, and we're not finding anything. This is not a friendly website. So, we did find some things out this evening, though, that with people going down ballot in 2 states, we would have had 2 more Democratic senators. That was both true in Arizona and Pennsylvania. Not in Florida, provisional ballot voting, 24,000 cast. Nearly 11,000 of those were counted, so no evidence there of severe effects of voter cross-check. And the cross-check indexes, they don't have a count for those. Only Michigan, Arizona, and North Carolina. So, well, gonna call it a wrap for this Saturday night. The bucket has been emptied, and we got 8:46 here at the Voice of Stockton. Thank you for being with us on the Saturday Evening News and taking a look back at the November 8th, 2016 presidential election. And we have found out that, you know, Wisconsin, heck, strict voter ID made the difference there. And in Michigan, that cross-check, that 75,000, made a heck of a difference there. So, digging into some other states, Arizona, no, they had a large cross-check index, but we need to find out how much provisional voting did take place. We found it out in Florida, but it wouldn't have made a difference. So with that, folks, be getting back with you next Saturday, and we're looking at the age of Trump with a fine-tooth comb. We have the BuzzFeed history here on at the Voice of Stockton, and that pretty much states everything Trump is suspected of and more, to include paying the people that did the hacking. Those are 2 points far apart on the bulletin board, and we need a lot of facts in between to really make that connection. And we're going to be digging for those. We're also going to be digging on these other effects of why do we have a Republican House, Senate, and President. And finding out a little bit, I'm sharing it with you. More to come. So that's it for this Saturday night for the Saturday Evening News with Richard Slezak. We'll be back with you next Saturday. We're full content, digging deep, and it's for you. Thanks for listening. More will be coming. Stay tuned for thevoiceofstockton.org. All righty, that's it for Saturday Evening News. Further looking at the election, and pretty much emptied my bucket for this evening. Gonna exit out of the YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for